the Doctor Who Series 12, Episode 9, Part 1 of the finale, Ascension of the Cybermen. So, yes, obviously I would have done a preview of the... Oh, let's just shut the sound. So, yes, obviously... Yes. Now, if you remember, for Series 11... I did a preview for the series opener and I did a preview for this series finale. Now obviously this series, it just didn't happen for some reason. So that is why I'm making sure I'm doing a preview for Series 12, Episode 9, Part 1 of the finale. And it's in one of my Doctor Who magazines. I'll read you the official synopsis and a bit more information. Now, of course, I don't have any spoilers. Let's see, is it this one? Okay. Nope, it's not that one. It will be this one. I think. Let's try this. Let's see. No. Sorry. Sure, it's in here. No, it's not that one, which means it must be this one. Okay. So, as you know, just finding it now in my magazine. Ah, here we go. Ha! Found it. Blimey. Oh, and if you want to, guys, like, share, comment and subscribe to the Lightning Boy on YouTube channel. And can I just say thank you to the 42nd subscriber, whoever you are, yep, it's much appreciated. You know, it's good to see the channel is really doing well, and I just hope I can keep giving you great videos and that you enjoy them, because that's the most important thing, that I like doing them and you enjoy them. Okay, so if you're sitting comfortably, then I'll begin. No, it's not Jack and Ori. Right, okay, so yes, Ascension of the Cybermen. So as you know, in The Haunting of Villa Dioti, was about Mary Shelley, and it revealed to be a Cyberman, which was much rumoured, but then I thought, I can't really see a Cyberman working into this. I know Frankenstein is an inspiration for the Cybermen with the whole human parts, but no, it doesn't definitely see, really. Yes. Okay, so right, so starring in this episode is Julie Graham. Now, at first I didn't know the name Julie Graham, didn't sound familiar, But it turns out she appeared in the Sarah Jane Adventures episode Goodbye Sarah Jane Smith, the series 4 finale. And she appeared as Ruby White and drained Sarah Jane to basically to feed on her all her memories and thoughts. I watched that episode again, and it's a really good episode. There's lots of good Sarah Jane Adventures episodes out there. Actually watching it again makes me really appreciate it more, because at the time I mean, of course I did like it, but compared to Doctor Who itself, it often, I don't know, well, obviously it's going to be a little light. So Julie Graham is starring. Jamie Magnus Stone is back. He directed, I think, the first episode. No, oops. Oh, yeah. Jamie Magnus Stone. Yeah, who directed Spyfall Part 1 and Praxeus. Praxeus, dreadful in my opinion. Spyfall Part 1, solid. So yeah, it'll be very interesting. So yes. So yeah, so here's what Chris Chibnall says. Okay. The Series 12 finale is part of a carefully parcelled out plan, says writer and showrunner Chris Chibnall. I imagined all along that the Cybermen would happen at the end of this series, and this two-parter would give them the weight they deserve. And they're going to be going back to, well, the Doctor and friends, to the Great Cyber War, which was mentioned in Classic Who, apparently. So that's where they're going to be heading to. Yes, so... and yeah, the Timeless Children is going to be what's called Part 2, which is very interesting. And, the big question is, by the end of this series finale, will we boot Ryan and Graham out, as I hope, and just have Yaz and the Doctor? Or will they both go, or will they stay for Series 13, which I can't say I would be that happy, but well, in that case, Series 13, it might be that I might be skipping that, but who knows, right, okay. So yes, so Julie Graham, she's also been in Shetland, which is quite popular, BBC One drama. Yeah. And talking of Julie Graham, Julie's just brilliant. If you're one of the last human refugees, you want Julie Graham on your side against the Cybermen. Right. Ascension of the Cybermen is one of those episodes where the Doctor and her friends are all run from different threats. We head into the next episode with jeopardy of whether they're ever going to meet up again. Ooh, that's interesting. Well, I don't know. Do I preview the Timeless Children? I mean, I suppose so, because it's a 2-part finale, so I don't know actually. But yeah, Julie Graham, yeah, so she's in it from Shetland and the Sarah Jane Adventures. Let's find out who else is in it. So let's go to the Doctor Who website. What? Hey, what? Oh, right, sorry. Right, okay. Sorry, just Big Finish. Right, so let's see. Oh yeah, Doctor BBC 1. So, Ascension of the Cybermen. His face. I'm just looking at the website. That's quite funny. I don't know whether he's terrified. Right, so, right, okay. Who's in it? So, Patrick O'Kane, never heard of him. Let's find out what he's been in. Alright, he's been in Game of Thrones, and he's an Irish actor. Never heard of him at all. Oh, right. Wait, was he in? Hang on. So, The Haunting of Dirty, and this is a mystery. Did Nick Briggs provide the voice of the Cyberman in that? Because I'm pretty sure he didn't. No, definitely not. Patrick O'Kane. I thought it was him. Yes, because if the Cyberman was fully in the suit, then it would be Nick Briggs. But as this Cyberman was a sort of half Cyberman, it wasn't Nick Briggs for once. Yes. So, right, yeah, Patrick O'Kane. So that's him, and he was in The Haunting of Villa Diodati. Yep. Okay. Oh, right. Okay. Right. Okay. Steve Toussaint. Let's find out about him. Okay. So he's been in. Oh wow, he's been in quite a lot of stuff. New Tricks, DCI Bags. So okay, some detective stuff. Doctors, the daytime. Casualty. Well, everyone's been in Casualty. The Memoirs of Sherlock Holmes. I believe that was the final series with Jeremy Brett, I think. I'm not sure. Right, okay. Right, so he was in one of those, yeah. Jeremy Brett, what a great Sherlock Holmes he was. Judge Dredd, I think I've heard of that actually. Yeah, oh right, okay. Right, so he's in there. Okay. Wow, he has been in a lot. Oh. Death in Paradise, Our Girl, of course, in tonight's Doctor. So, yeah, quite an actor with a CV. I can't say I recognise him at all, really. No. Okay. Yeah, and as I said, Jamie Magnus Stone is directing. So we'll see. In the far future, this is the synopsis. Oh, yeah, sorry. Wait, what? Hang on. In the far future, the Doctor and her friends face a brutal battle across the furthest reaches of space to protect the last of the human race against a deadly Cybermen. The aftermath of a great... The aftermath of the Great Cyber War. The Doctor arrives in the far future, intent on protecting the last of the human race from the deadly Cybermen. But in the face of such a relentless enemy, has she put her best friends at risk? What terrors lie in the depths of space, and what is co-sharness? Okay. Oh, that's interesting. Very interesting. Okay, and do I preview the Timeless Children? No, I can do that in my review, actually. Yeah, the finale. Do you know, it's really hard to say whether I am excited for this finale because, you know, sometimes finales, they've had a great first part and then they struggle to be as good as the second part. I can't think of many finales that have been good in both parts. Okay, Journey's End and The Stolen Earth. Those were fantastic episodes. You know, with the regeneration cliffhanger, all the companions. It was an amazing episode. And, do you know, I kind of think Tennant, that would have been a great story for him to bow out on. You know, rather than The End of Time. Because The End of Time is great. But, well, you know, the Master with the Master Race, it is quite comical. You know, I saw a different side to it. It is funny, but it's not great, really. I have to say. Even though Johnson was absolutely spectacular as the Master. So, yeah. I'll tell you what, guys, to get the chat really going, how would the 10th Doctor bowed out for you? Obviously, we know he died from radiation. Oh, excuse me. He died from radiation to save Wilf in The End of Time. But how would he... You know, if David Tennant, Journey's End was his last episode, how would you have wrote him out? How would the Doctor have died? Let's get the chat going here. Okay, I'm gonna get the ball rolling, and I'm gonna say that you know, we still have that cliffhanger when the Doctor is hit by the Dalek Death Ray. However, like the Caves of Androzani, the Doctor holds the regeneration in. He's about to regenerate, and then, you know, we see the TARDIS being chained up arriving on the Dalek ship, so the Doctor is, you know, forced to, you know, hold it in. I know that sounds really bad, but the Caves of Androzani, the 5th Doctor was able to, you know, pause his regeneration. So the 10th Doctor manages to pause it quite a bit, and then so I think that's how I think Tennant would have gone. I mean, do you know, really, I was actually thinking the other day, and somebody pointed it out, and I was thinking, The End of Time, it's great when Tennant sees his companions all one last time, because it makes sense, because, you know, Martha came back quite a bit, and Jack did, and Sarah Jane did, so it makes sense. They were big parts of his era, but it does drag on a bit. I mean, at the time I was just amazed to see them all once again, but it does drag the story on, and you forget the Doctor is dying, and, you know, him being silent. I mean, you know, I think to some of them he should have, you know, chatted to, which is why I think Journey's End would be a great end for him, because, you know, we'd get to see all the companions of the 10th Doctor's era, and then he would get to say goodbye to them properly, and they would get to, you know, have a big adventure with him. That's what I would have done, and do you know, I would have, well, this could be very controversial. I would have had it on, I would have had the episode broadcast on BBC One, BBC Three, and CBBC. Now, you may think that's a bit daft, broadcasting the same thing on 3 channels. Well, what I would do is, on CBBC, you would have the Sarah Jane Adventures point of view of the episode. On BBC Three, you'd have the Torchwood point of view of the episode. And on BBC One, you would have the Doctor Who point of view of the episode. Because I think you would get to see it from everybody's point of view. And I don't think that would work. I mean, if people, were watching, because Torchwood is quite adult and, I don't know, it could get messy. But that's what I would have done. And I would have had another idea for how the 10th Doctor would have died is to, again, I keep thinking, this sounds a bit similar to Eccleston sacrificing himself for Christopher Eccleston, the Ninth, absorbing the time vortex to transfer from Rose Tyler to him and back into the TARDIS. This sounds quite similar to that. And so the Doctor, of course, because Donna's ending would be the same as it is. But the Doctor, to use that mental energy, would, physically drain a Time Lord. And the Doctor would die from that, because he would be so drained and literally there would not be much power, and he's dying. Although that does sound a bit messy as well. The other option would be to allow Rose and the other Meta-Crisis Doctor to live, would be to have the Doctor regenerate, because the 2 Doctors sort of sharing the same memories, and it would effectively kill him, because there's 2 men with the same memories, and it would sort of kill him, because there's two of the same men living and breathing the absolute same memories, and it just wouldn't be. Again, that's quite messy as well. How could number 10 have found out in Journey's End? Let's get the chat going here, if you want to. My first idea is like the Caves of Androzani. So the Doctor is holding his regeneration in and halting it, and then will eventually regenerate at the end of the episode. Now, to me, I don't like Donna. I was quite glad when she went in Series 4, although her ending, the Doctor wiping her memories, was, of course, it was sad. It was very sad. It was very emotional, and Catherine Tate was really good in that scene, and so was David Tennant, not hardly saying anything. You could tell something was wrong on his face, and and to see the heartbreak of that was a very good scene. But I still didn't like Donna. So, to me, whatever would happen to the 10th Doctor, Donna would also go, but then a companion really helps transition the new Doctor, because the companion, they get to experience the Doctor change, and, they get to experience what it's like for them. We've seen Rose struggling to come to terms with the 10th Doctor initially, Clara struggling to come to terms with the 12th Doctor. So maybe to have Donna there, although I don't think she would have worked with Matt Smith. Yeah, I just can't see Eleven and Donna being together, particularly. Also, one change I would have made in Journey's End is that Sarah Jane drives off, in her car. We see her, Jack meets her, then they go off to meet the Doctor, and they see him gone down by a Dalek. Sarah Jane seeing the Doctor change again, and I would actually have a callback to Planet of the Spiders, because the Brigadier says, well, here we go again, as John Pertwee is about to change to Tom Baker. So Sarah Jane, with a brief tears in her face, would say, bye, Doctor. Well, here we go again, just before David Tennant regenerates. So that's what I would have had. I mean, there's so many scenarios here. Yeah, I could see him halting his... I think the best scenario would be for him to halt his regeneration, and as the Daleks are literally chaining them up on the ship, and then the Doctor would die. Die and then regenerate, of course. I would also have, I know this might be controversial for Rose's ending, sort of ruining that ending by, staying safe on a parallel world. I would have Rose work for Torchwood with Jack, along with the other Doctor, the Meta Crisis, as a soldier. I know that could be messy, especially for Torchwood, the spin-off series, but that's what I would have done. Mickey, or maybe have Rose form a new organisation, completely merge Unit and Torchwood, although I could see that being particularly messy as well. Yeah, it just reminds you, it's quite hard to think of something for Doctor, like another scenario, because I'm thinking that merging Unit and Torchwood, I don't think there'd be a lot of fans that wouldn't have liked that, because Unit are a treasured part of Doctor. There are people who quite rightly remember the glory days of John Pertwee, the Doctor being stranded on Earth, working with the Brigadier, and do you know what? I think I'll, maybe I'll do videos when I suggest, what could have happened, how I would take Journey's Earth, or how I would take some episodes of the Sarah Jane Adventures, or how I would take the 50th. I could see that being actually really popular, so I might actually do a video on that. Alright guys, I think that's it, because I want to go listen to 606. I've got to have my tea, and then of course watch Doctor Who, which tonight is at the same time, 7:10 on BBC One in the UK, BBC America, whatever time in America it is, but it's on BBC One HD over here, 7:10, and hopefully it's going to be a good one, because hopefully I won't be grumbling, it's going to be another lecture, which I have. If you ask someone who's been in the room with me, they would have heard me grumbling quite a lot. In fact, my dad said I was too cynical, but the truth is, I don't really trust Doctor Who anymore. I've been massively disappointed with this series. If this finale is disappointing, then I'm not sure. I'm not sure I'll stick around for Series 13, because it's in danger of of booting me out, I think. So, well, we'll see. You know, who knows? It might be a good finale, but, you know, I just don't know anymore. I'm not keeping my hopes up because, you know, Doctor Who has disappointed me so many times over the last few years. You know, going back to Hellbent, the Doctor Falls, not seeing Missy to the Masters, Regeneration, not seeing being a Rush story, and, you know, this one. So we'll see. We shall see. Yeah. And also, I think I might do some videos on the 60th, maybe 60th anniversary 2023. Could Christopher Eccleston return? I mean, do you know, I would have said no, but he is doing conventions. We now know why he left. So that means if Jodie knows and Chris, they could organise a lunch. Chris could finally apologise. The BBC could finally apologise to Christopher Eccleston. He could be convinced. Working with Jodie, I mean, he's already hinted that, you know, he's not completely ruled it out. And, you know, he did speak to Moffat about the 50th plan. So, do you know what? I actually do have hope and optimistic that Chris could return. But at the same time, of course, I would expect him not to return for the 60th. But again, who knows? Alright guys, that's it. If you want to, like, share, comment and subscribe to the Lightning Board YouTube channel. And I'll be back, I'll be back around 8 for my review of Ascension of the Cybermen. So, see you then. Bye-bye. And if you want to, like, share, comment and subscribe to the Lightning Board YouTube channel. I don't know if I said that. If I have,